It's your boy once again, JGoodWithSports. There's a lot of different things to take away from the NBA playoffs so far, but before I even get into that, I want to give a shout out to Jalen Hurts, the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, because that man got the bag. This man agreed to a 5-year, $255 million extension, including 179.3 million guaranteed yesterday. So Jalen Hurts gets the bag. Jalen Hurts' story is one of my personal favorites. If you don't remember, Jalen Hurts was originally the quarterback, just going all the way back to college here, quarterback of the Alabama, Tide, Crimson Tide, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a Roll Tide fan. But anyway, he was a quarterback of Alabama. Honestly, probably the first black quarterback I've seen them have with my own two eyes in my lifetime. I could be missing quite a few people because I never really paid attention to Alabama until Jalen Hurts got there. As far as, them, with them having that type of individual under center. But anyway, so Jalen Hurts was the quarterback and had I feel like a solid freshman year. Then the next year, Alabama is doing their thing, and then he gets benched for Tua. They ended up winning. And then, he ended up transferring, so his future is uncertain. This man ends up in Oklahoma, resurrects his career. And then from there, ends up being a second-round pick by the Philadelphia Eagles, where they still had Carson Wentz, as Carson Wentz is at the crossroads of his career with the Eagles. And then, probably about, 10 games into the year, Jalen Hurts gets an opportunity there. Locker rooms start being divided. At a certain point at the end of the year, they cut ties with, thank you, Carson, for your services, but we no longer need you. They get him up out of there. And then, Jalen Hurts, finally, full-time starter for the next year. Takes them to the playoffs. They end up, drafting Devontae Smith that year. Takes them to the playoffs. End up losing to the Bucks. And then they acquired A.J. Brown in that offseason. And the rest is pretty much history, as the Eagles made it all the way to the Super Bowl, and one of the better Super Bowl matches we've seen in, quite a while. And, had they maybe had the opportunity to get the ball back without that penalty that happened, we might be having a different outcome here. We might be talking about the Super Bowl champion, Jalen Hurts, received probably maybe like $290 million contract with $200-something million guarantee. You probably would have saw that. But nevertheless, Jalen Hurts has put in the work. Jalen Hurts is resilient. He never backs down from a challenge. He just continues to work his behind off, and hard work is finally paying off for this young man. So definitely congrats to Jalen Hurts. It's definitely well deserved. What can you say? There's nothing there. He deserves every penny of it. There's no argument there. I'm pretty sure the man finished second in MVP last year against, versus Patrick Mahomes there. Had Jalen Hurts may not have missed those last couple of games of the year, he probably would have been MVP, more than likely. So his average annual salary is the highest in NFL history. It surpasses Aaron Rodgers. Jalen Hurts is gonna, with that contract, is $51 million a year. Aaron Rodgers is $50.3. And so, as far as guarantees, he's third. Kyler Murray is 189.5, and of course Deshaun Watson with the anomaly contract at $230. But either way, Jalen Hurts gets the bag. He's there for foreseeable quarterback for at least the next 5 to 10. So, yeah, congrats against Jalen Hurts. Now, before I get into the NBA, it's just the other question is, what does this mean for Lamar Jackson? Will he continue to gain leverage because of stuff like this? Will he sign sooner? Will he sign later? Is he going to wait for Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow to sign first and then, try to squeeze as much money as he can out the situation from somebody? I don't know, but, the dominoes are falling. I mean, look, Hurts got them to the Super Bowl. I get that. But one thing I guess Lamar can't say is he is a former MVP of this league, former All-Pro quarterback, and the peak of his prime. So, I don't know. We'll see. But the Lamar Jackson situation continues to be a headline in the NFL. But today we are celebrating Jalen Hurts. All right, so we're going to switch gears to the NBA because the NBA playoffs has been entertaining so far. Before I get into last night's, game 2 games with the Sixers, Nets, and Kings and Warriors, just a quick recap of everything else, everybody else that has played. Celtics are up 1-0 there in the series against the Hawks. Game 2 is tonight. I mean, the way that the Hawks played, I wouldn't be surprised if Boston just comes out and just blow them out the water and probably end up sweeping the series. I tried to give the Hawks the benefit of the doubt and get one in there, gentleman sweep, Celtics in 5, and maybe they will still, even if they lose this game, because that one game at home, crowds pumped up, role players just playing out of their mind, just feeding off the energy like that. That's a real thing. That's definitely a real thing. So we'll see there. Knicks and Cavs, this is entertaining. I have the Knicks in 7. I do. And for the Knicks to come in, what's that? Is it still Quicken Loans Arena? I'm not sure these days in Cleveland, but for them to come into Cleveland and get the road win, set the tone, I mean, Knicks did what they had to do already. Now, if they come back tonight and go up 2-0 against the Cavs on the road, then Cleveland is in trouble, for real. So we'll see there. It's just the Donovan Mitchell factor. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell got his, but it seems like the Knicks are okay with that since they end up winning the game. Jalen Brunson has definitely been a huge addition for this team all year, and it is showing. Julius Randle still not 100%, but he gave you, pretty sure he gave you a double-double last game on a not 100% ankle. So we will see. We will see there. Now, this one right here, Clippers and Suns. I picked the Clippers in 7. And it's I completely understand the Suns have the highest ceiling out of any team in the Western Conference with a healthy Kevin Durant. But I don't know. It was just something about this Clippers team since Russ got there and the energy and the heart and tenacity that he's showing. I mean, and it showed. It showed in game 1. Russ had a terrible shooting performance, but there's more than one ways to impact the game. There's more than one ways to show that you are a winning basketball player. And boy, oh boy, his effort on both ends of the court to getting 5 offensive rebounds? Because I believe he had double-digit rebounds in that game, and he had at least 5 of them on the offensive glass, creating second and third opportunities for his teammates. We got that going. The defense that he was displaying the whole night, including the last significant play of the game, where Devin Booker tried to take him one-on-one, tried to drive, blocks the shot, and then also saves the ball and throws it off of Devin Booker so it doesn't go out of bounds, and so it could be Clippers ball as they were up 3, I believe 111 or 108 with like under 10 seconds left, like just winning plays. Kawhi Leonard was a dog. I believe he reminded people like, yeah, I'm still that guy. Fun guy, can still play this game. Yeah, I've been on load management for the last 3 years, but when it comes down to it, I can still hold my own. Like, you must have forgot, I'm a 2-time finals MVP of this league and a 2-time champion. I took Toronto to the promised land and delivered. Nobody else. I took Toronto. And now I'm back with the Clippers to take them. That's how it felt. That's how it felt. Yeah, Phoenix is locked and loaded and is very top heavy with Durant, Booker, Paul, Ayton. They are very top heavy, but Clippers is one of the deepest teams in the league, if not the deepest. If not the deepest. So it's like, when you got all that stuff, going in their favor, and they don't even have Paul George probably for this series, and they come into game 1 and steal that, that lets me know they come into play. Like, for real. Now, if for some reason that the Clippers come out tonight and win game 2 again, it's going to be a lot of media backlash against Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns. It is. And Russ is the type of guy where he don't care. He been playing with a chip on his shoulder all year, ever since the Lakers fiasco, ever since that situation ended. Yeah. And I think Russ intangible is the reason why I probably picked the Clips in 7, even without Paul George. Because he's going to give you heart no matter what. He's going to give you more than 100% every time. And on 50-50 plays makes the world of difference in games like this. Because let's be honest, Chris Paul cannot keep up with Russell Westbrook. I'm still hanging on the fact that Patrick Beverley called this man a cone a couple years ago on defense. And I feel like Chris Paul ain't been the same since on D. So yeah, I mean, that's a real thing. So yeah, I can't wait for that game tonight. And then we got the Lakers and Grizzlies, that series. They play tomorrow night. Look, if Ja can't go, this series is over. The man hurt his hand after Anthony Davis drawed a charging call on him in the fourth quarter. And when he went out, that was ball game. Lakers just put all the nails in the coffin and shifted up creek. They didn't put him in a cemetery. They just put him in a creek and let it float up the river off a cliff. That's how bad the Grizzlies were when Ja left the game. Coming into the series, I said, who is going to guard Ja Morant? Because Ja Morant is going to create opportunities for everybody else. And then when everybody else gets going, it's going to be hard for them to stop. Now, I give credit to the Lakers because Austin Reeves and that other guy, I'm drawing a blank here, that they just traded for from the Wizards before the deadline. Drawing a super blank here. I'm going to get that name here in a second. But those two role players came to play for sure. And had great games. They definitely had great games. AD was doing his thing, even though one point in time he was telling people he can't feel his arm after getting hurt. So I don't know how much longer AD is going to actually hold up. And of course, LeBron's still doing his thing. But yeah, nevertheless, if Ja Morant can't play or if he can't go in this series, it's over. Point blank period. Congratulations, Lakers. You made it to the second round. That's how it feels. It's exactly how it feels. So we got that going on. But game 2 is tomorrow night. If Ja's playing, I expect the Grizzlies to blow the Lakers out the water. And it's not even that the Lakers, aren't a good team, which, they have definitely been a better team since the deadline with all the pieces and stuff. But more so, I think it's just the pride of, the Grizzlies and the city itself and the grindhouse atmosphere and all that stuff. I expect them to come out with a lot of energy. I expect all the role players to be on one because that team is too prideful to go down 0-2 at home. So that's what I expect. And I definitely don't expect all the role players from the Lakers to play as well because that's hard to do. For role players to play well on the road consistently, that is very hard to do. Very. So, as long as Ja Morant's healthy, that should be an entertaining series. The Heat and the Bucks, kind of same deal here. Giannis. They play tomorrow as well. If Giannis can go with that back injury, then, they should even the series. And of course, it all depends on how healthy Giannis is, how much can he move around on the court, any spasms, stuff like that. But if you give me a 75 and higher percent Giannis out there, I'm taking the Bucks all day, every day. I'm just damn. With, the Heat losing Tyler Hero right now with a broken hand, and I'm pretty sure that's their leading scorer, it makes it that much harder. Now the Heat was playing well and the shooters was just, lights out altogether. But that's been one of the main things for the Heat the whole year. And that's how I keep saying they are first round exit and championship contender in the same game. A lot of that is predicated on them hitting the three ball with consistency. If they can be lights out, then yeah, it poses a problem for everybody. But if they're shooting 35% from behind the arc, 30% from behind the arc, and it's like, yeah, I don't see it. And at times the offense can get stagnant. Yeah, I don't see it. So it just all depends. But nevertheless, if Giannis playing and gives you at least 75%, we're going back 1-1 to South Beach. That's as simple as that. Timberwolves, Nuggets, I still believe that the Timberwolves can make this a series just based on their personnel. But I'll tell you this much, if they come with the same energy that they did in Game 1, this series could be over very quick. Because I feel like Denver is probably tired of being disrespected and counted out. Hey, I get it, but the criticism is warranted. When you've been this team here for the last 3 to 4 years with all this talent and back-to-back MVP player on your team and expectations, and you never living up to the expectations, only made one conference final within those 4 years and getting bounced out in the second round here and there by teams you probably shouldn't be bounced out against. So yeah, it comes with criticism. It does. So Jokic, you got all these MVPs and stuff, and all NBA and definitely a future first round Hall of Famer and all this stuff, but can we get to the finals, bruh? Can we do that? Can we do that? Because at some point something got to give. You supposed to be this guy, sensational talent, but where's that killer instinct? Where's that? Look, you give me the ball, I'm finishing this thing. Where is it? We want to see it. For real. Jamal Murray, look, I understand you tore your ACL and you're still recovering because before that you was basically knocking on the door of being a perennial all-star here. But where are you? Michael Porter Jr., you had so many expectations coming into this league, and I understand you had the back injuries and stuff to deal with, and you overcome that. And I expect you to turn the corner, but you have not turned that corner yet. Did you run out of gas before you start turning the wheel or what? Where are you? Denver. Yes, I understand you won Game 1, But in this postseason, where are you? That's my question to Denver. Where are you? Are you coming? Or are we just going to write you off again? So, yeah, I'm definitely entertained here. Oh, and then last night, so Brooklyn is done. Yeah, maybe gentlemen sweep, but I can honestly say that I wouldn't be surprised they lose in 4. And it's not even, anything against Brooklyn. It's just more so that they just don't have enough. Yeah, I understand, Cam Johnson came out there and was balling in the first half. But he was awfully quiet in the second. They needed to keep that same energy in order to win that game, and that was not happening. And then lastly, but not least, certainly not least, because I enjoy the Kings and Warriors series here. So the Warriors have been a terrible road team, but a sensational team at home this year. But I still feel like later on in the series, they will get one on the road. But I guess it all depends on, this Draymond Green, Sabonis, stumping them, but this whole scenario and any repercussions from that. Maybe they just leave it at a flagrant or an ejection or whatever it was. But I'll say this much and I'll leave it at that. Draymond does not stump the man if he doesn't grab his ankle. Yes, we know Draymond has done a lot of things in the past, but once again, Draymond just not going to just stump somebody without being provoked in this scenario, and he was provoked. So, Simone is not innocent either, even though he come away with maybe a rib injury, but it was self-inflicted. I'm going to leave it at that. So, continue to rock with your boy right here, the No Offense Radio, the No Offense Network. Check me out on social media at JGoodWithSports. We're talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, continue to rock with your boy right here on JGoodWithSports Podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. Thursday, we'll get right more back into the NBA playoffs because it is hitting right now. This is what's hot. Anything else that might transpire in the NFL? Maybe we get some more contract extensions. Maybe Lamar Jackson finally signs one. Who knows? Maybe DeAndre Hopkins is finally traded. We'll see. Because the NFL draft is coming up next Thursday. But until then, you all be safe, stay blessed, enjoy the weather, enjoy each other, get the money. But until next time, peace.